Spider-Man is a game I meant to make a video on for a long time now, but a few months back I saw that one of my dreams was going to come true with a PC port for Spider-Man Remastered. Now granted, I do have a PlayStation, and I played this game back when it originally came out on the PS4, but getting able to play on my PC with some beautiful graphics, ray tracing, and uncapped frame rates, let's just say I was very excited. Not to mention all the incredible things the modding community is going to create for this game. I can't wait to see them all, and if there isn't a Bully Maguire mod, then
I'm gonna put some dirt in your eye.
yeah, get ready for the sheer amount of Spider-Man memes I'm about to throw your way. Funnily enough, I have quite a unique history with Spider-Man games. Back when I was really young, I don't know, maybe kindergarten, I used to go over to my neighbor's house to play the original Spider-Man 2. It was like one of the first open world games I'd ever played, and let me tell you, I was in love. Literally, I remember it got to the point where I would just show up at my neighbor's house at the crack of dawn just to play Spider-Man 2. Yeah, no wonder why they don't talk to me anymore. And because of that experience, I played a lot of the other Spider-Man games after that. I specifically remember I even had the Spider-Man 3 plug-and play. Man, that just brings back so many memories. Those things were awesome. I also played a lot of the Amazing Spider-Man, but I didn't really like that one. The web swinging was really weird, and I remember getting bored of it pretty quickly. And for a long time, I kind of forgot about Spider-Man games. Until this beauty of a game came out and brought back all these memories, while also feeling like a really good video game. This is basically how I remember Spider-Man 2 looking back in the day, even though I look at it now and I'm shocked at how I thought these graphics were so realistic looking. But obviously this game looks a million times better, and now that it's on PC, the capabilities and potential are even greater. New York City looks amazing. Now, I'm not a New Yorker myself, but from what I hear, it's pretty accurate. Its design is absolutely perfect for web swinging. I love the verticality of the world with all the tall skyscrapers and varying heights you can reach. Swinging up to the top of the largest building and dive bombing down is one of the coolest things ever and gives you such a rush of adrenaline. I can't say this about many games at all, but the traversal is so addictive. Seriously, they're about to put me on TLC for being obsessed with web swinging and Spider-Man. New York is not only exhilarating and satisfying to traverse, but it's extremely lively on the streets below, with bustling cars and citizens, random crime events breaking out around every corner. Even small things like hearing J. Jonah Jameson go on his usual rants of Spider-Man is hilarious and lines up with the events of the story as you progress.
Winning two-time Pulitzer Prize winning former publisher of the Daily Bugle. Hey, plug the book.
Spider-Man has quite a lot of side content, and while most of it is pretty standard stuff you'd see in like a Ubisoft style open world with the Oscorp towers, outposts, collectibles, etc., because this is Spider-Man and the open world traversal and gameplay is so fun, it doesn't feel as repetitive and tedious as it might in some other games. Like for example, I actually really like the backpacks because they usually have some sort of fun reference or Easter eggs. There are a few actual side quests with stories and such, and these were probably some of my favorite side content in the game, although I do really like clearing all the different hideouts and outposts as well. I always like doing that in open world games. But the side quests were usually pretty interesting and tried to introduce some variety. I remember this one mission where you can't even use your web swinging. You have to rely on just using zip webs, and it still works and feels amazing, which is just a testament to how good this game's traversal is. The research labs, Taskmaster challenges, and Black Cat stakeouts are fun for a bit, but it can definitely start to feel repetitive after a while, especially if you're a completionist, like I sort of am sometimes. I don't know, I'm pretty inconsistent, so I'm definitely hoping that's an area of improvement we see in the new Spider-Man 2, and hopefully some more unique and fleshed out side content. However, I do really like how the game actually rewards you for exploring and doing the side content with tokens that you can use to craft gadgets and suits, so it actually feels like time well spent. Spider-Man's gameplay is really what makes this game so much fun. I'm telling you, this web swinging is the best. But it doesn't just feel great, it also has a surprising amount of depth to it with all the skills and moves you can unlock. You can do tricks. Over time, you learn how the momentum and speed of it all works. It's easy to do and get a hold of, but there's still a skill ceiling and plenty of room to improve on web swinging as you get more familiar with it, and I love that. It truly never gets old. The combat feels very similar to the Arkham games' free free-flowing combat system. However, instead of being more counter-focused and brutal, it fits with Spider-Man's acrobatic fighting style. So in Batman, I get to be like this. And in Spider-Man, I get to be like this.
Oh, it's so simple. That was cool, man.
What the hell is this?
Webbing that I developed myself. I don't think you really want to know.
Come
right
on,
now.
let me go.
One second.
Knock it off, man. No.
It's the perfect combat system for a Spider-Man game, and paired with all the cool gadgets you get with the web shooters, it allows so much freedom for creativity and expression. I've seen so many awesome videos on YouTube with people creating these really unique combat flows or web swinging. The stealth is shallow and simple, especially when compared to the depth of the combat and web swinging, but it's still incredibly satisfying. I love the animations, but I also feel like it's too easy, which is kind of a minor complaint I have with the game as a whole, is even on the higher difficulties, the game still feels quite easy. The boss fights especially. They look cool, but they feel too easy and scripted for my liking. And by scripted, I mean there's really one way you have to fight them. Like for a vast majority of the boss fights, you just have to shoot your web shooters at the boss and then punch them repeatedly, and the game tells you that as well, so there's no learning curve or real challenge at all. Like, can you imagine if a Dark Souls game told you exactly what you need to do to defeat the boss you're currently fighting? That would be really lame. I'm definitely hoping that stealth and the difficulty gets worked on and improved for Spider-Man 2. My other issues are with the mission structure that again can feel very repetitive, but also has some very annoying sections, like the very slow tacked on puzzles that are constantly pulling you out of the fun stuff. I appreciate them trying to add a gameplay mechanic to show Peter's science smarts, but these puzzles are so boring, and thank God you have the option to skip them. I also wasn't a huge fan of the MJ and Miles stealth sections. Don't get me wrong, I love stealth, but just sneaking around without a way to take down enemies is kind of boring for me. There is one part where MJ gets a stun gun, and that made it a lot more fun for me, and the part where you have to hide from Rhino is really cool, but aside from those, I feel a lot of these sections were unnecessary, and I was questioning why I needed to play these since, you know, I want to be Spider-Man in Spider-Man. With that said though, I love the suits. There's so many options. There's a lot of awesome original suits designed by Insomniac, as well as the movie suits and even a comic book one. I'm impressed with just the sheer number and variety of suits they were able to put in the game, and on top of all that, a lot of the suits have unique powers as well. Really, the only two suits that I wanted to see that weren't in the game was the black suit from Spider-Man 3 and the Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit. This game also made another one of my dreams come true. The only thing that would make this game better is if they let you throw dirt in people's eyes. 0 out of 10. Wait, quips is one of the suit powers? Okay, never mind. 37.5 out of 10. But gameplay and world aside, this game has a phenomenal Spider-Man story. Dare I say, one of the better Spider-Man stories you can experience. There's a fun, likable, and comic-accurate Peter Parker, who's also more experienced. He's been Spider-Man for 8 years, which is quite more than what we're used to seeing, which is a very refreshing idea. He has all these great quips and humor, which I'm jealous he's able to come up with these on the spot. Do you have a ghostwriter, Peter? Although I guess Peter decided to undergo plastic surgery to make himself look younger? Personally, I prefer the original face because it shows that he's an older, slightly more mature and experienced Spider-Man. But I love Peter's relationships with the cast of other well-known characters from the Spider-Verse, like Miles Morales, MJ, Aunt May, which really nailed how important May is to Peter and their bond. Uncle Ben isn't even in the game, and you can still feel the impact his death had on these two characters and how he influenced Peter, as May would often point out that she sees a lot of Ben in him. We also get to see Peter be a scientist, and his partner is Otto Octavius of all people, and I love how the game portrayed and developed their relationship as well. Not to mention all the different classic villains: Rhino, Mr. Negative, Scorpion, Vulture, Electro, Kingpin, while also setting up even more for the future. We're gonna get Venom in Spider-Man 2, which I cannot wait for. I said the same thing for the Batman Arkham games, but the story and characters make the game feel like a comic book come to life and captures the very essence and charm of Spider-Man very well. It's very fun and entertaining while still being a story you can get very emotionally invested in. It strikes such a nice balance. And again, it's truly one of the best Spider-Man stories you can experience in my opinion. Just in case it wasn't obvious, you should definitely buy Spider-Man Remastered. The game is such a fun time. The world feels great for traversal, combat and web swinging is so addicting, and the story is phenomenal. Now perhaps it's worth just waiting for a sale, especially on PC since it is currently priced at $60, but I definitely recommend it if you haven't tried it yet, and it's awesome that PC players now get to experience this as well. Xbox players, I'm sorry for your poor life choices. Nah, it's okay though. You guys are about to have a lot more exclusives of your own. Actually, I don't know why I'm saying you guys. I have an Xbox too now, so whatever. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of Spider-Man Remastered if you've played it already. And if not, let me know if this video was helpful. Consider becoming a member of the channel for some special perks or subscribing if you're new. But other than that, thanks for watching and have a great day.